Namaste. Queen Yoga Bee here. So today's lesson, we're going to be using the wall as a prop. You're going to need a strap, a timer, a block, and a mat. And that's pretty much it. If you don't want to use a timer, you can count your breaths. So the first pose I'm going to show you is a wide angle stretch. Lots of ways to do this. But first I need to show you how to get on the wall. So you want to get your bum as close as you can to the wall with your mat going this way. And then you're going to lean back and roll your feet up. So I have a gap, so I'm going to scooch forward as close as I can get to the wall. And all I'm going to do is let my legs fall wide. So now I've got gravity pulling, right? It's a big groin stretch. You can, just like gravity, take over, or you can add a little extra weight by placing your hands on the inside of your thighs or your knees, just for a little extra weight. So staying here for a minute or more is what I would advise, but you can count your breaths if you don't want to use a timer. It's very stretchy and very good for your muscles, so it'll make a difference in your range of motion. So how can we change this pose just a bit? So you want to keep stretching your groin, but maybe you want to work on your abs. So you can turn it into a moving pose where you inhale here and exhale here, and just make your target wall. Inhale, target the wall, exhale. So I would again set my timer for about a minute or count my breaths maybe to 10. Another way to do this would be to use Bellows breath. So in Bellows breath, I'm going to inhale through my nose and exhale through my mouth, and it goes this fast. So now I can pulse to that rhythm. If I'm up here, I can go. I like to cradle my head, especially if I'm doing it for a long amount of time. It's just easier on my neck. I'm not working on trying to strengthen and stress my neck as much as I'm working on my core. So that's wide angle, pretty easy. A timer helps. So your next pose is going to be sit like a cowboy. That's what I call it anyway in my class. So again, we're as close as we can get to the wall. I'm going to slightly bend one leg so my foot's flat. I'm going to take my other ankle and put it right on top of my knee. So as I scooch that foot down the wall, it takes everything and makes it closer. So I want a big hip stretch, so I'm slightly pushing against this knee and pulling on this foot as the whole thing comes forward. So a minute on each leg, or count your breaths. So that's the stretchy version of this. And of course, on the other side, it looks like this, and you can do whatever your body needs. Or you can turn this into a moving pose. So you're here, and you want a little bit more core workout. You can inhale when you're here, exhale up. Inhale, exhale, and just aim for something out there. If you want to use that breath of fire and the little pulsing, I cradle my head on this. I'm going to just adding that little crunch. And then, of course, you got the other side, keeping the sides as equal as possible. Let's see. The next one is bridge pose. So I'm going to show you how to use bridge pose to do shoulder stand. But before we do shoulder stand, I want to remind you, if you've never done it before, that you're going to try and get all of the weight on the back of your arms and the tops of your shoulders. Your neck and spine do not touch the ground in shoulder stand. So I like to use bee wings and get my hands way under. It doesn't really fit when you're that close to the wall, but I rock everything under, and then I go up here. So if you can't get your arms like this, it doesn't fit for some reason, it's okay to have your hands like this. But remember, you have the pressure is on the backs of your shoulders and the backs of your arms and the back of your head, but your neck doesn't touch and neither does your spine. So this is bridge pose, right? You can just stay here for your whole minute or however long you choose. Or if you're having trouble getting up for shoulder stand, you may want to use the wall as a help. Now you're in shoulder stand. And you can always just practice it with one leg if you're not brave enough to let go of the wall yet. So, bridge pose can also be a workout for your bum, even though that seemed like it. But okay, here we go. So I'm going to put my feet flat on the ground, on the wall. And I'm going to inhale when I'm up and exhale when I'm down. So that's pretty cingy. You can change the breathing if you would rather inhale when you're down and exhale when you're up. It's totally up to you. For a minute or however long you want to do it. So say you want to pulse this with that breath, Bellows breath. So I'm up here, I'm just going up and down, and it's a big squeeze. So say you want a teensy bit more. If you're really a worker bee, you can use one leg. So I'm up. I'm going to extend one leg. To add more weight to what's going on here, I'm going to keep my leg as perpendicular to the floor as possible. You could also do this. It's totally up to you as long as you treat both legs the same. So you could just stay here for your moment, right? Or you could go up and down. Again, you're incorporating your breath with this. So you decide, I like to inhale when I'm up and exhale when I'm down on this one. And of course, your other leg gets a turn. And you can also do the pulsing with the Bellows breath. So I'm up here and I just want to pulse. You decide what your rhythm is going to be. So that has been wide angle stretch and pulsing and holding. We did sit like a cowboy, both sides, holding, pulsing, stretching, bridge to shoulder stand, and bridge with both feet on the wall, and then bridge with one foot on the wall. So your final pose is Savasana on the wall. So it's a pose called legs up the wall. And in class, sometimes I have people do legs up the wall without the wall. But what you'll need, block, strap, timer, because you're going to be in your Savasana mindful breath in this pose for anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes. And counting your breath gets a little bit tedious. So again, here I am getting up. I have to walk a little bit closer. It's kind of a snaky, so I've got my bum as close as I can get it. So we're going to do legs up the wall, supported with this. But first, I'm going to put a strap on my thighs. So I do this because when I relax, I don't want my legs just to go like this. If I get very relaxed, which I intend to do. So I'm going to strap my legs together. Like so. Now they can't go like that, right? They're holding together. I'm going to use the block underneath my bum, not my lower back. And I've got kind of a space here, but that's okay. I want the block to be just on the back of my bum, not my lower back, my sacrum. So the final frosting on the cake is to set your timer at whatever amount of time you want to spend here. Remember, you get to use your mindful breath exercise that I taught you in the mindful breath lesson, or listen to music, whatever it is. You're going to find that it's very restorative, especially if you stay here for a bit. In fact, this is a restorative pose. Your hands can be on your belly if you want. You can have your hands on your heart. You can have your palms open to the universe. All of it is good. You can have an iPad if you really want to put something over your eyes to block out sun or fluorescent lights or whatever. So now you know how to do all of these poses using the wall. And I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel, which is Queen Yoga Bee, because that keeps me motivated. and creatively making all these wild and crazy things for you to do at home, which are yoga. It's my version of yoga, which is Yoga Bees. So thank you very much. Namaste.